eyes back on chat now, Johnny. So, hopefully we'll be able to see if there is anyone who's saying, can't see what's going on, what's happening, where have you gone? So yeah, do please keep in touch, chat, and let us know, because with your comments, we will be able to find out what's going on or what isn't going on, as the case may well be. So keep in touch. Thank you so much. So there we go. So we're eyes on with the C's, as we said, as we just jumped to the A's, and there seems to be a little bit of action there at the front from Fitzpatrick, with a little showing there of 8.0, 7.9, 7.7 watts per kilogram there from the WTRL team. Is he off the front? Is this an attack? I don't know. It's interesting tactics. He's gone with a teammate. There's the two of them. It's a 2-up effort here, and could be an interesting tactic if it pays off. They can see that they're catching a C group. They're going to overhaul the C group, and maybe they're hoping the C group are going to act like one big sticky draft for the A's who are coming behind, as Ashton and Fitzpatrick, who are great, super strong riders. We've seen them time and time again, and interestingly launching an attack here. So great bit of TV coverage for the WTRL. It looks like the rest of the pack, Santander and Borkovitsky is catching, as well as S. Lees as well. So it looks like it's going to come back together. But here, we were saying this earlier in the broadcast about the fact that when it fragments and when the groups start to catch, when the faster riders start to catch the slower riders, you're going to have your wits about you. And particularly for the ACAT riders, they're going to have to really be on it like a car bonnet to make sure they don't get left behind, if you pardon the phrase, Johnny.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's really interesting just to see how they can hold this power. He's been holding 6.5 watts per kilo there, average, for a good minute or so. So it's not like he's backing down. He's here for quite the challenge and quite the fight, it seems. He came up and through that one group perfectly fine as a two-man break. That carried through. That came through quite nicely, and they're still going, and they've picked up another 2 riders with them as they've gone through. They've just overhauled that other group there behind, just as you can see. I do believe the peloton there is at the front of the A's, and then just in the back was the C's, I believe, that they overhauled. But that's just, it's just incredible how they can just come up and through like that, and they're not messing about. They're on full gas here. You can see still 5 watts per kilo, just pushing, up there with Tim Cartwright and these absolute warriors.
And what I just saw there from Tim Cartwright was up and over 10 watts per kilogram, just to make that catch and just to really push it on, and to keep in contention with those front guys, those WTRL riders who'd done a splendid job of pushing the pace up there. So as we jump back into the season, I can see some familiar names in this as well. T. Reineck from Glory, the German rider. And they are actually, Glory are the team who are at the top of our division. They are leading the way in the Zwift Racing League in the EMEA West Division 1C. That's our league. We're one of 4 divisions of CCATs. And we're in Division 1, and we're in about 4th place at the moment in the KRT Love Guns, but this team are something to behold. So I think T. Reineck is going to be there or thereabouts at the end, as we see an orange shirt off the front and absolutely killing it there in the C's. So whether he's going just to put a bit of a show on for the end of the sprint, but this B group's a nice tight blob, isn't it, Johnny? Look at that. Wow.
Sure is, yeah. They're not messing about. I think that's there. I think that's Jack there, one of your teammates. I just saw the KRT jersey, and you were saying a moment ago,
Jack Lecoq.
Yeah, I do believe he is in there somewhere in the mix.
Yeah, I can see him. There he is. Yeah, I can see the Canadian flag right on Jack. There he is, Mr. Jacques Lecoq. Great job.
Such a great job. Yeah, he's holding quite comfortably as well. And I do believe Jack used to be an A rider as well once upon a time, if that's right. So he's got the experience, because I was looking back on a few videos over on ZCL early on today, and I saw that Jack was in one a few years back now. and he was an A-League rider. So I was like, wow, that's impressive. So it just shows he's got the experience and he's got the power to do very, very well. And now he's in the Bs. I mean, I've raced with him many times. He's such a strong rider, especially when it comes to those sort of KOM finishes. He did an incredible job a couple of months ago with me, and he just blew me apart going up the Casse Pats climb. What an incredible ride that was.
That's the French courses are they're spectacular to look at. You know, the scenery that they've recreated here on Zwift is something to behold. But you don't really appreciate the scenery when you're riding up those KOMs, do you, Johnny?
No, that's true enough.
KOM is quite brutal, isn't it? That hilltop finish there, it just kicks and kicks again, doesn't it? At the very top. But the Aqueduct KOM is slightly more amenable for a rider. It's not quite the effort as Caspats, but it's still fast and furious when it's in a race scenario such as this, as Peter Cooper's coming to the front, it looks like, and he's there or thereabouts, and he's in a really strong position here. So I hope he hangs in tough, and I hope he doesn't have the Bluetooth dropouts that he's been having. But some big names here in this group here as well. Looking like there's quite a few that are attached riders. There's quite a few that aren't as well. There's quite a few that don't seem to have teams next to their name, or maybe they are. If we just flick over to Zwift Power for a second, I might see a few attached and name tags, team tags, certainly. But there's BRT out there tonight. We've got two guys, team TFC, which is the Friday Criterium, as you know, Johnny. Team Australian Hump Day Ride, AHDR, is represented tonight. No Pins are out there. Innovation, a team that have been going for a long time. Team Cryogen, and just a big shout out to one of our co-commentators, Mr. Rob Dallymore. Johnny, he's a Cryogen rider, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is, and he's doing such a great job with the team time trials, WTRL team time trials, isn't he? He does. I think he would have done one early this morning, probably now. Actually, for him, is early morning, isn't it? So I do believe, because normally he does the WTRL TTT streams with yourself, but I do believe he's actually on the bike racing now. So keep going, mate. If you're watching, hopefully you can keep pushing out those massive wattage bazookas that you always do time and time again, and we'll look forward to having you back on the channel very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at this blob here, this front group of the A's, and they're currently flying around at an average of 4.2 watts per kilogram. That's the average for the pack. There's about 36 riders in this front group here that we're watching. So that's the power that they're putting out, and that's pretty incredible, pretty incredible indeed. And it's giving an ETA for these guys at the very front of around about 41 minutes 57 seconds for them to have completed this course, which is no mean feat, because we're about halfway through, I believe, or actually they're over halfway. So sorry, no, they're at 20.3 Ks into this race, according to Zwift Power, and so it is a 32.5 K race, I believe, overall. So yeah, the ETA for the A's is around about 41 minutes. The ETA for the B Cats, there's 32, I think, right in the front blob there, and that's about 44 minutes, 39. The C's, they're given an ETA of around about 48 minutes, 34, and the D's an ETA of around about 49, 27. And they're the estimated times of arrival, of course. Actual times of arrival may vary dependent on legs, you'd say, by the end of the race. As we see Tim Cartwright comes to the front with a big wattage bazooka off the front. Here we go. This is what he's known for, Johnny. Look at him go. He's launched an attack. Can we get down the road to see what he's putting out here? 12 watts, 13.4, 12.4, 12.1. Go,
Not
Tim.
messing about here.
This is Mr. Cartwright of old. What an absolute effort to push through. Was that a tactic, or is he he's pushing on?
He's still
pushing
going,
on.
yeah.
The thing about this guy is he trains for this kind of effort, this intense kind of effort, and then he looks like he's easing off, whether he's just playing with the guys or just seeing who's going to come with him, because he's the guy who can go. He has got it in him. He has got the ability to ride away from a pack. Just trying to see if double draft is on, and I don't think it is. But can't see at the moment, but he's done it. This is a big gap he's pulled out there. He's obviously seen the seas. He thought, right, we're catching the seas again. I can see them just ahead. So I'm going to go and I'm going to attack. Now it's up to the rest to really push on. Look, he's doing 5.3, 5.1. If he can keep pushing, he might just be able to hold a gap away, but his heart rate is 170 BPM, and I think he maxes around about 180, if I remember correctly. I think the others, Ashton's got something to say here. He comes with 7.9, 7.6 watts per kilogram, and he's pulling the rest of the A's along behind him in the wake because they've realised the threat that is Tim Cartwright.
Once he winds it up, yeah, no one's really going to catch for them good couple of minutes. And if he's on a good day, he can definitely stay away. He might just be playing it very, very carefully with this type of course, waiting, biding his time, I think, just for that final climb, just testing everyone, just using them tactics just to wear them out, and doing what he's doing now here, and just using the draft of the other riders. But he's not hanging about. He's just coming up and through, as you can see. 4.8, 5.5, absolutely incredible. Another 1-2 from the A leagues going away there quite comfortably as well. And now that they've come up and through that first bunch, it's going to be quite hard for the A's to realise and actually see where they are. As you see that they're kicking there with a couple of sprints just to try and catch back on, just to try and stay in touch.
And it's these really big efforts, those efforts that take the numbers into the orange there. You see Fitzpatrick in over 10, 11 watts per kilogram. It's those that are relentless, that really hurt the legs, that really build up the lactic acid. And we talk about matches, Johnny. All riders do that. You have so many matches in your sort of like your locker, really, inside your body, and you burn a match every time you really light the legs up, or you really go for it there to close a gap, to hang with the group, to close an attack down, or to go off the front yourself to make an attack. You only have a certain amount of those efforts within you. And the fitter you are, the more trained, the more well drilled you are, the more of those matches you have to burn. But ultimately, no one has a limitless amount of those. No one has a limitless amount. So you have to think about when you're going to use them, when's the right time for you. And so for riders like Tim Cartwright, he probably doesn't want it to be Gruppo Compacto towards the end. He would probably appreciate a smaller group to be whittled down, this large group of A's that he's riding with to be somewhat smaller, so that he can have a better chance in those final closing kilometres up Libby Hill.
I think that's a smart move. Yeah, I completely agree, mate. It's just a case of it all comes down to the course at the end of the day, doesn't it? Every rider's got the power to go away in whatever cat that you're in. Really, everyone's got the power to be able to separate themselves from the bunch and put in that break. And if a break sticks, it's great because they can just use the other riders that are on the course. And if anybody comes with you, like we just saw them with the 1-2 with Tim Cartwright, what a great feeling it is when someone actually goes, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to come with you, because they both want to work, and then you're in each other's heads then, and you're in each other's mind spaces, and you're working together. As even though you've got a different jersey on and you're racing against each other, you're still working together just to try and put the hurt on the peloton so that you can stay away. And then it's a case of you've only got one other person to contend with. If that break stays away, a two-man break, hypothetically, from the word go, which it never does unless you've seen the odd rare occasions with the World Tours where big breaks stick and big breaks stay away. If the break can stay away, you've only got the one person to fight against then, as opposed to an entire peloton chasing you down.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Johnny. You are not wrong there at all. I'm just looking, and the blob, the pack speed of the A's has increased. It's just gone up to 4.3 watts per kilogram for that front group, and I think it's probably come from those attacks. And it's right. The tempo's raised, hasn't it? It's rising slightly. Switching to the B's, and it's 3.7 watts per kilogram with that front lead group of 32 riders. So they're surfing at a fast rate. Even the groups that are behind, there's a small group of 3 riders behind a little ways back, and they're doing 3.6 watts per kilogram. So they're not hanging around as well. And then you go further back within the B's till you see it drop off down to sort of 3.4, 3.3 watts per kilogram. And then the front of the C's, there's 13 riders where Peter Cooper's currently sat in, along with Callum Wright, David Jones, Ollie Koch, and Thomas Reinecker from Glory, and who I've mentioned, and they will be certainly names to look for towards the end of the C group, and they're doing 3.3 watts per kilogram at the front of the C cat, which is, for an average, that's over cat limit, so they are not hanging around at all as well. And the Ds are looking at, like the front of the Ds, there's a group of 7 doing 3.2 watts per kilogram. So let's be honest, no one is hanging around tonight for sure.
I don't think they want to. I think it's just a case of they want to get it done, and just put as much hurt as they can on each other, it's just great racing. It really is great racing to see when you see all of these attacks going time and time again, one after the other, as it is going on in the A's, and it filters down into the lower cats, because you see those attacks go through, and you learn from the experience of it, and you go, right, I'm going to try that. I'm going to give it a go, and that's the best way, to learn how to race. You have a go yourself, and you, can that work? Can that stay away? Sometimes it doesn't, and 9 times out of 10 you get swept back up, but it's a learning curve and you learn something from it. And then you just see the A's, these absolute elite of the elite, just do it time and time again, race after race, and they just make it look so easy.
They do. You're right. Just looking at a couple of riders, just to shine a little spotlight on some of the top level riders here. We have Michael Boardman for World Elite Zwifters. He's a level 50 rider. He's an A+ cat rider, Johnny. And as you and I both know, they're the black belts out there. They've got the black badge, haven't they, on Zwift Power?
That's right.
He's hailing out of the United States. His FTP is 315 watts. And he's a svelte 59 kgs, which so that would put him in a really strong position. If he's hanging there tough at the end, I think he's a hot tip to do well at the end of this race, because it'll favour the light riders, as I was saying earlier on in the broadcast. Super numbers as well. So he's a top rider, a top rider there, Mr. Boardman from the United States for WEZ. And there's another, just going to pick out another rider here, just looking for this eco rider, and it's Boris Tobian. If Zwift Power will let me, just need to be patient while Zwift Power updates and changes. And they're not hanging around, they're still pushing onwards here. So this guy is, A+. He's done 82 races. He's a level 33 Zwifter, but his last race was on the 17th of November, and which was only 2 days ago, and he took the win. He took the W, and with an average of 4.1 watts per kilogram. So he's a genuine guy, and super fast. FTP is 334 watts, and he's 65 kgs. So again, both of those riders I've just shone a spotlight on are they're no heavyweights, are they, Johnny?
No, that's it. But it's gonna be interesting. It really is. They can't have that much further to go. I know that the Bs went a minute behind the A's, didn't they? Now the A's are away. They're 18.5 miles in here, and just glancing across to the Bs, they're 27.7 k's in. Now we know the course is 33 k's in total, isn't it?
Yeah, the A's are, Johnny, the A's are now on their outward leg. I believe this is it. They are going to turn right now, and this starts them on the descent and then on the outward leg of this course. So here they go. So this section of course is it's a funny little section of course because you look at it and you go, it's flat here, then it's -1. Yeah. And then it goes around the corner and it drops again. And it's flat here on the flat now, because we're at the underpass where they've got the monorail going over the top. But as you descend down that section, again, easy to get dropped in that little section there. If you're not tight on the wheels, if you're not tight in the draft, it's bizarrely a place where you can just get spat out the back. And, seen it time and time again in events that I've taken part in, and people just missing the cut in that particular section. So as we were saying before, World Elite Zwifters, I believe, are sitting pretty. They've got 3 riders, I believe, in this front pack. So they certainly have got, they've got a kind of light blue jersey with an orangish sort of stripe down the centre. So if you see that, Johnny, you'll know that they do have representation here in this pack. You've got a guy at the very front there, and then 2 others, Argentinian rider and Boardman, who I've shone a spotlight on there as well. But don't rule out the WTRL riders, Jepson and Ashton. They are supremely fit as well. And of course, Tim Cartwright. So I think we shouldn't give it too long before we decide to watch the action at the very front of the A's, Johnny. But this is an effort here from De Freitas here. 5 watts. Is he going solo? Was this his solo punch away?
So another one goes away with Mr. Tim Cartwright in the A's, just as you were mentioning.
I just had a funny feeling, I had a sneaky feeling that Tim might go again. You know, it's his kind of area, it's his kind of arena, flat course, TT, get in a TT position, head down, go for it. And that's exactly what he's doing here. Amancio's coming with him, 5.1 for World Elite Zwifters. He's pulling the pack along. So that gap is not going to go out any further. So Tim may well just decide to save that match for a little later, but I mean he's not easing up at all. You know, you look at that. Oh, he has just there. He's just eased and thought, right, that one hasn't gone away. I'll recharge and go again. But De Freitas, just before we cut back to Tim, there, he was pushing ahead and he was attacking on that descent, Johnny. And that's what I was saying. It's a funny section, that course, because a lot of people go, it's a downhill, I'll cruise. And actually, those who attack on that section, you can get some big gaps appearing, really big gaps appearing. So we are not far from the finish here. Is it worth staying tuned in, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's not a bad shout.
It's going to be over in a jiffy. It's going to be done and dusted as soon as you can say, Bob's your auntie, I think. So we might as well stay eyes on. These are the moments, aren't they, Johnny, where you just like, it all gets very twitchy. People are looking across. In the real world, you're kind of like eyeball to eyeball the people around you, trying to look in their faces, see if they are they suffering more than you. You know, can you detect any kind of sense? On Zwift, the best sort of identifier is clicking on another rider and seeing what their heart rate's doing. Is it higher than mine? You know, are they in the pain cave, in the pain locker more than me? But it's not an exact science. And here they go. They're starting the KOM. This is it. This is the beginning of the end of this race, and this is where it's going to get spicy. And who should come to the front but Mr. Tim Cartwright?
Again, just an incredible strong effort. They're all orange numbers here. They can see. I do believe that's the end there, isn't it? The KOM banner. Banner. That's the end of the race there. So it's going to be super interesting just to see who's going to stay away, who's going to put this effort in now. As you've got Chris Ashton and Boardman, T. Hendry, all of them big orange numbers as they're pushing up this climb. It's going to be something spectacular to see as Mr. Santander there with C. Ashton and Tim Cartwright in a 1-2-3 as they are absolutely killing it up this climb.
And Ariel Savori as well. Savori for World Elite Zwifters looks like he's trying his best to keep in touch, but I think Santander's going away. Is Santander going to take it across the line from Ashton? Is he going to take it? I think Santander's got it. Ashton looks like second, and I think Ariel Savori has got the third place, and courtesy of an instant replay, a world exclusive for Last Watt Live. There's your 1-2-3, ladies and gentlemen, out on course tonight, and B. Santander taking the KOM jersey as well for his efforts. What an amazing finish to that race. Wow, Johnny.
That was impressive, wasn't it? That was I just couldn't get the words out fast enough as that 1-2-3 went with Tim and Santander and Chris. Chris was there from WTRL. Yeah, it is Chris. I swear it's Chris. Chris Ashton. Very strong rider. Yeah, very strong rider. As you mentioned earlier on, he's just super strong, and that was exhilarating to watching all three of those very well renowned Zwifters attacking up that climb, because it's only short and sharp, isn't it? I thought it's a little bit longer, but it's not. That was over before it started. It was so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Fireworks there, you know, and they came across that KOM start banner, that gantry, and then it was done. They were like, right, that's it, you crossed the line, bang, it's all over. It is a short climb, it's a punchy climb, it zigzags, as we will see with the bees now coming through. But it's brutal. It's brutal. When you're at the front there, the A pace is just absolutely insane. And we've got some bees here, isn't it? M. Benji from Le Brûlé, who looks like he's putting a big dig in to try and get away here. So fair play to him. And it's making the bee cats all kind of strung out now. So this is the lead in. This is before we've really got to the KOM. We haven't started the KOM, or have we? We crossed the KOM. Sorry, Johnny, we have, haven't we? Yes, we have, because there's the banner. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I think they have actually made the start up here. So it is all starting to go from the get-go, and it's all stringing out now. So as we see the A's still crossing the line in the distance, but all stringing out there, and we've got eyes on Jacques Lecoq, and he's pushing on hard. Keep going, Jacques. But at the front, it looks like 1AI, or is it 1AL for CC, hashtag 23, with De Freitas coming in second, and C. Clavin and J. Klingenberg for BRT. So good representation here, and it looks like they're pushing at 6.3, 7.3. So the numbers aren't staying orange. You know, these guys are pushing. Here
comes Jack. Jack's coming up. Jack's having a push there.
On,
massive Jack. 8.1.
Jacques Lecoq, this could be amazing. This is a great effort from Jacques Lecoq to really push on now. If he can kick again, he needs to just kick one more time. Here it comes. This is the kick from Jacques. Go on, Jack. He's got it on the line. That's a brilliant sprint by Jacques Lecoq. And look at those numbers, 8.7.9. And he is over the line and taking the W for KRT out on course tonight. What an incredible effort there by Jacques. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Woo! My stream just paused there. I think it was just melting down with the effort that it saw from Jacques Lecoq.
More than likely, yeah, more than likely. As you can see, the C's here, they're not messing about. We've got 10th wheel here with the C's, and they're so close behind. It's just... that time split between all of them three cats, it's nothing, is it, considering they were let go a minute at a time? It really does come down very, very fast, because it's not going to be long now, and we're going to be seeing the C's starting that KOM, and they're up that final climb, and again, we'll be hitting it full gas up that climb.
Yeah. So you're going to have to do some commentary here, my friends, and I will bring the winners. I'm going to just have a little look at those leaderboards. Okay, Johnny?
Yeah, no problem at all. So we can see what an incredible effort here by the C's. You've got K-Sei on the back, taking off that first front effort there. Just super strong, just keeping it nice and tight there with C. Caveman and S. Johnson and Lewis's friend that you mentioned a moment ago, Mr. Peter Cooper from KRT. So they're all there in that mix, just trying to keep that pace calm, keep it smooth, ready for this KOM that comes, as you've just seen twice before. You know, it comes short, it comes sharp, it's ready, people attack, and it's over in a blink. That was an incredible effort there by Jacques Lecoq in the bees. It was just so strong, and it's such a sharp, steep climb. It's going to burn the legs. It does look like some of the riders here were riding into the Armco of the bridge. Just imagine if they were knocked off. Maybe that'd be an update. You could actually have virtual crashes. That would be one to watch, I think. But yeah, so you can just see right here, not messing about with Mr. Peter Cooper there, just sitting very pretty in the second half of the bunch as they come up and through. So they'll come up over this little crest, this 5-6% crest, and then they'll cross down, keep it nice and smooth, probably Grupo Compacto again for the last little bit, and then they'll hammer that right-hander, and then as soon as they've hit that right-hander, it's going to be the afterburners are going to get lit. The riders aren't going to mess about. The ones that want it, probably the lighter riders, not necessarily the stronger riders, may have the advantage here as they come up and through. As you've got B Smythe, is that an Irish flag I just might have seen there? I'm not too sure. As Kay say there, massive effort there, just controlling that pace at 4.6 watts per kilo, which is quite high for a C-Cat rider. So it's going to be very interesting just to see who goes, who wants it, and who's going to have that pinch and who's going to try and make it count. Super interesting to see. I'm just going to try and get the very front, the very sharp pointy end of it. It's quite difficult to get them. There we go. So this is the very sharp, short and pointy end as this incredible T Renach there, 5.8 watts per kilo with, wow, KSE there going again, which is a brilliant effort as he kicks and pushes there. Can he overhaul him just as they come up and round this tiny little punch of a climb as it banks up again there, 8%. KSE going up clean quite comfortably off the front there, 7.1 watts per kilo. Just seems to be just chilling now. He may know he's got it. He may be quite content with that, or he may just be completely full gassed as they come across there. So yeah, KSE takes it. What an incredible ride there for the Sea Cats.
And there was Thomas Reinecker for the Glory team, bringing it home in second by the looks of things, and say S. Holstein in third place. So once again, great replays, Johnny, and probably having a replay on a hill is less of an issue than it normally is on a super flat sprint finish. But it's actually a brilliant tool at our disposal. So thank you so much for bringing it to us tonight. It's really helped me here in co-commentary with you, and great job by KSE from he's an independent. I can't see a team that he's attached to actually, unless you know, Johnny.
I can't see anything, no.
Yeah, Zwift Power is not showing the results as yet for those C's, but brilliant job there by them. So are we going to be able to bring some action from the D's, Johnny, as well?
Just trying to get onto it now, yeah. It's quite difficult because they've all blobbed up together with the remainders of the C's as well, so it's quite cheeky to try and just get with them. I do think this might be the front of the D. This S. Charles here may well be, but because they came up and through super fast. No, I'm wrong. There is one more just up there, two more just up there. So that might be the front of the D's there. It's super difficult to get when they all come together when it's this open event. But it's so much easier for us. It's a lot better because there's no real confusion. We brought many races to the channel, and you can see what a classy little show off there for the D rider. What an incredible effort. But yeah, so that's
the gun show.
It's just brilliant to see, and we're just going to keep eyes on just with a couple of riders a little bit further down, just while you try and get those results populated, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's looking like we have a top 10 for the certainly for the A's, for the front of the A's, which is great, and that's complete and that's in the bag. And the group, which was the B's, is just getting composed now, and in the middle of doing that. So bear with. Seem to have lost a couple of riders for some reason. So I'm still cracking on with that. I just want to make sure that this is absolutely spot on and accurate. Don't want to bring you any errors or mistakes.
Yeah, that's great. So just let us know as soon as you've got those, mate, as we've just got eyes on with the chase group here for the C's. These are the ones that sort of splintered early on when the C's went up with the more advanced categories. But these riders are still doing such a strong effort, cruising here at 25 mile an hour. So it's going to be quite interesting just to see who's going to come up and through and trying to take, the front of this bunch sprint, if you like, as opposed to, well, it's not a sprint, it's a KOM as we've just seen. But it's always a good feeling, not necessarily if you're not in the front of the race and you haven't won the race, but still to win your group. Everyone always tries to sprint and always finish their own group, so it is a good feeling. But as you can see, what an incredible ride there by KSE. 1 minute 14 up that climb for the so 0.4 miles. So it was short and sharp and peaked at about 6%, which is it's going to have one hell of a sting in the legs. That is, it's not going to mess about. They're going to feel it tomorrow, let's say. But it's going well. It is going very well, as you've got a massive plethora here of C's and D riders that have just come together. So this could be, the best of the Ds and the weaker or newer C riders that may have just been newly promoted. So they all seem to blob up together, and you do get that with Zwift Racing. A lot of the cats, you do get that blob together where the two cats work together, and it just comes down to the final sprint or to the final KOM. As you can see, D Denning there pushing in quite a nice effort for a D power rider there. Nice 3.5 watts per kilo as he kicks there, just to try and get a bit of gap on the C's behind, because I bet that's a good feeling in itself if you beat a lower cat rider. So he is a D rider, D Denning there. So as a D-Cat rider, that must be a great feeling if you can come up and through and smash through some of the C's. I bet that's an incredible feeling.
It must be, and he's probably on the cusp of greatness and upgrade by the sounds of things. But absolutely right what you were saying before, Johnny. If you're halfway back, it's still worth sprinting for your, the bragging rights, the virtual bragging rights. I was in a bunch and I finished it in the front of the bunch. I sprinted for glory, and when you see an arch, when you see a racing arch, when you see a finish line, when you see a city limit, town limit, sprint sign, a speed limit sign on the roads, even in real life, there's bragging rights there for your team to be the first to it. So why not keep it up and keep going and don't give up? I think that's the motto, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely wrong with where I said it would peaks at 6. I've just seen a big massive red 10 there, so it spikes at 10%. Even though it's short and sharp, that must really have a sting, because look at Alpe d'Huez and Alpe de Zwift, obviously the same mountain, but Zwift's own version of it. It's that's quite nasty and quite cheeky, and that spikes at some horrific bits, but it sort of averages around that spike there. So I think the riders have done incredibly well. Super tremendous effort by all riders tonight in all of the categories. How are the results coming, mate? Have you got them? Have you got anything to give us?
Yeah, A's and B's are in the bag, and the C's are just being composed. Just had to double check some of the results for the C cat, because we did see the guy who crossed the line first has had an automatic DQ, I believe. Wow. So he does not feature across the line in the results. Having said that, because he definitely won the race. We definitely saw him cross the line first, but I'm seeing Thomas Reinecker as the front results for the C's out there on Zwift Power, and I've refreshed it a few times, and that's according to live. As you know, we were talking about this at the top of the broadcast before we even went into broadcast. There's about 30 minutes before you get the actual results that have been curated by Zwift Power. So we will be giving you unfiltered results, and these are provisional, and we'll say that with a capital P. Massive caveat right up front. We're not saying these are the definitive results, so please, if you're not happy that we've said that you were lower down in the results or you were higher up, and then you come back to us and say, well, hang on a second, Lewis and Johnny said I was 6th, and now on Zwift Power I've been given a DQ. We're just going off the provisional results, guys, and trying to bring you some kind of leaderboard action. So bear with us as we just round out the top 10. So we might just bring you the A's, the B's, and the C's tonight, if that is okay with you, Johnny.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
Okay. Well, then we are ready to go, my friend, if you are too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Shall we launch with the A's then?
If it works, we will see. If
that's amazing. Wow. Okay, so bringing you the A-Cat provisional results. Here we are from Zwift Power, as we said, provisional only, but taking the victory out there tonight for the A-Cats. We saw Ariel Savori for WEZ take the win. In second place, B Santander. And for Skyrock team in third place, Christopher Ashton for Skylab WTRL, rounding out the top 3. TMWG MGW, taking 4th place for Nico Oz, and in 5th place Thomas Hendry for Restart Up Nation plus Restart. 6th place was Andre Rheinlein for KCA1 Kirschmere e-cycling team. 7th place was Donny Pascal team AHDR. 8th place was Martin Jefferson for Skylab WTRL, so the second WTRL rider making out the top 10. 9th place was Michael Boardman out of the United States for World Elite Zwifters development team, and rounding out the top 10, Naofumi Nozaki for AHDR, and they are your ACAT provisional results out on course tonight. Johnny, take it away with the bees.
Oh, look at that. Incredible effort there. So, first and foremost, first across the line, the gold, the top of the podium, Mr. Jack Lecoq, your teammate, Lewis, KRTB, Psycho Circus, KISS Racing Team. Colin Clavin there in second, silver, just almost had it there, didn't they, with that 1-2 epic shot up the climb there. Taking in bronze in third is Alan Campbell, Cycle Chat IRL. Fourth, Joel Klingenberg for BRT, which is Bolt Racing Team. Rounding out your top 5, you've got Casper Wirtz, 7-4-5-3. In 6th place this evening, Brian Domaikus, I think. Please correct me if that's wrong. From Cryogen. Incredible ride there by him. 7th place is Ben Kane from Dynamic Rides CC. 8th, Oren Kane, Green Titans IRL. 9th, Hornet's Nest. That's quite an interesting name. And rounding out the top 10 for the B-Cats is Ben Dowling, ATP Neon.
Okay, and we'll bring you the C-Cats now with the results from Zwift Power, as we said, provisional. In first place, Thomas Reineck for Glory. Second, Ollie Kosh for TMA. Third, Paolo Furtado. Fourth, Benny Smythe for ADCC. 5th, David Jones. 6th, Tim Spencer, BMTR, BLBRT. 7th, Sean Clark for the 9200. 8th was Jay Sir, RSC Breton. And 9th, Peter Cooper for KISS Racing Team. So well done, Super Coop, for a top 10 finish. And in 10th place, Adam Edmondson rounds out your top 10 out on course tonight.
Wow! So what a very interesting race this evening. So your teammates have done very well. You've got 2 in the top 10 there, which is really good. I bet you're absolutely buzzing with that, aren't you, mate?
I'm made up. I'm proud to be rocking the KISS Racing Team t-shirt and matching cap, to be fair, my friend. I think the guys did a brilliant job, and take nothing away from Tim Cartwright, because I think he finished just outside the top 10, but he showed he hasn't lost it. He's still got it.
Oh yeah, super strong by all riders. What's next? I suppose it's going to be, we are covering the World Elite Zwifters Racing League that they are forming. It's going to be a weekly event. The first one is tomorrow night, but we're not covering that because, as we learned in the Warrior Games, we can't cover individual time trials. It's a nightmare. So the first one for us will be, I believe it's the 27th, where we'll be covering the first race. And there's actual cash money to be won, Lewis, with the World Elite Zwifters Racing League. Real cash money. Whoa. But the caveat to it, you do have to be dual recorded and you do have to send weight videos per race. So you can kind of understand why a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. When money gets involved, it gets quite serious, doesn't it, Johnny? We do it on Last What's Live just for the love of it and to bring the action to you. But it's great that there's so many race series to choose from now. I remember a few years ago that it was all just individual races. There were no real kind of leagues, but we've got the Zwift Racing League, we've got the WTRL Team Time Trials that Martin and Steve are doing a brilliant job to bring to the Zwift platform and community. It's really a racer's year this year. I really think it's exploded. The whole scene has just taken off and it's on another level, and which is exciting. It's great to see, and it's great to be part of it along with you, Johnny, here on Last What Live. Thanks so much for the comments in chat from John Rich. He was plugging Tim for the win, and he said, great stream, chaps, and well done, Jack. So thanks for the love in chat there, John Rich, tonight. Good to see you.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, so thanks to everyone that tunes in, because without you guys, it's pretty pointless, because we'll just be, as we've said before, me and Lewis could talk all day to an empty room, but without you guys and girls on the other side of the screen, it just makes it so much more worthwhile. As Lewis said, we are doing it for fun, and we are doing it just from our own home and our own setups. It's been another enjoyable race, another enjoyable stream. tune in next time for the next one, which I do believe will be the World Elite Zwifters round 2, stage 2. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
Until next time, see you later.
Bye.